Catherine just became the most powerful woman in the British royal family, and here's exactly how it happened. Something incredible is happening behind palace walls that most people don't know about. While everyone was focused on Catherine's cancer recovery, a quiet revolution was taking place. Princess Anne, the hardest-working royal for 50 years, has been secretly preparing Catherine to take over her role as the backbone of the monarchy. And the transformation we're seeing is nothing short of extraordinary. It started with January 14, 2025. Catherine walked into the Royal Marsden Hospital, looking like a completely different person than the woman who left public life almost a year earlier. She wasn't just announcing her cancer remission, she was announcing her comeback as the most important royal after King Charles himself. The way she carried herself, the confidence in her voice, the steel in her eyes, everything had changed. The media noticed it immediately. Royal correspondents who had covered Catherine for over a decade struggled to find words for what they were witnessing. This wasn't just a return to duty, this was a complete reinvention of what royal duty could look like. The woman who had once seemed overwhelmed by the spotlight now commanded it with an authority that surprised even her closest advisors. Here's what nobody talks about. Catherine's cancer battle wasn't just about fighting disease, it was about discovering who she really was underneath all the royal protocols and expectations. For months she had time to think, to reflect, to decide what kind of royal she wanted to be. And the answer surprised everyone, including herself. During those quiet months away from public life, Catherine underwent what can only be described as a profound personal transformation. The old Catherine was careful, always following rules, never stepping out of line. She had been the perfect royal wife, supportive, elegant, never controversial. But illness has a way of stripping away everything non-essential, leaving only what truly matters. The new Catherine, she's a force of nature. She's making decisions that would have been unthinkable just 2 years ago. She's taking on responsibilities that traditionally belong to much more senior royals. She's speaking her mind in ways that are both respectful and revolutionary. Friends close to the family describe a woman who emerged from her health crisis with a clarity of purpose that was almost startling. Where once she might have deferred to palace advisors or followed established protocol, she now trusts her instincts and advocates for her vision with quiet but unmistakable determination. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Princess Anne, who everyone knows as the no-nonsense hardest-working royal, saw something in Catherine that nobody else did. While Catherine was going through treatment, Anne wasn't just sending flowers and get-well cards. She was visiting Catherine privately, having deep conversations about duty, service, and what it really means to be royal in the modern world. These weren't casual chats over tea. These were masterclasses in royal service, from the woman who has done more royal engagements than any other family member in history. Anne was teaching Catherine everything she knew about connecting with people, about making every event meaningful, about turning royal duty into genuine service that actually helps people. Anne shared stories from her decades of service, the mistakes she'd made, the lessons she'd learned, the moments that had defined her approach to royal life. She talked about the loneliness of the role, the weight of constant scrutiny, but also the incredible privilege of being able to make a real difference in people's lives. But here's the part that will blow your mind. Anne wasn't just mentoring Catherine, she was preparing her for something much bigger. Anne has been watching the royal family struggle with fewer working members, an aging king dealing with health issues, and a public that's increasingly demanding more from their royals. She knew someone needed to step up in a major way, and she chose Catherine. Think about this for a second. Princess Anne has been the royal family's secret weapon for decades. She does more work than almost anyone else, never complains, never seeks attention, just gets things done. For her to choose Catherine as her successor in this role is huge. It's like getting the approval of the toughest teacher in school. Anne recognized in Catherine something that others had missed, a combination of natural empathy, strategic thinking, and the kind of quiet strength that could carry the monarchy through its next phase of evolution. She saw someone who could bridge the gap between tradition and modernity, someone who could make the royal family relevant to a new generation while respecting its historical significance. The mentorship between Anne and Catherine has been one of the most important relationships in the royal family's recent history, though it's been conducted almost entirely out of public view. Anne's influence can be seen in Catherine's new approach to royal duties, her focus on meaningful engagement over ceremonial obligations, and her willingness to tackle complex social issues. The proof is in what we're seeing right now. Catherine isn't just doing her old job anymore. She's taking on projects that are bigger, more complex, more important than anything she's handled before. Her work with mental health isn't just about raising awareness anymore. She's actually trying to change how the entire country thinks about mental health. Her early childhood development work isn't just about cute photo opportunities with kids. She's working with scientists, researchers, and policymakers to create real change in how we raise children. She's using her platform to push for actual government policy changes that could affect millions of families. The depth of her commitment is evident in the way she prepares for engagements. Where once she might have relied on briefing notes and prepared remarks, she now insists on meeting with experts, reading research papers, and understanding the nuanced complexities of the issues she's addressing. Her team has had to expand significantly to support this more intensive approach to royal duties. And here's something most people don't realize. Catherine is now the royal family member that other royals look to for guidance. When there's a crisis, when there's a difficult decision to make, when someone needs to represent the family in a challenging situation, they're turning to Catherine more and more often. Prince William has noticed this change in his wife, and honestly, it's transformed their entire relationship. They're not just husband and wife anymore, they're partners in the truest sense, working together to modernize the monarchy while respecting its traditions. William has stepped back from some of his duties to let Catherine shine, and the results are incredible. Their marriage has evolved into something deeper and more purposeful. Where once William might have been seen as the more experienced royal, guiding his wife through the complexities of royal life, they now operate as equal partners, each bringing their own strengths to their shared mission. King Charles, who's dealing with his own health challenges, has become increasingly dependent on Catherine's judgment and presence. The bond between them has grown stronger, because they both understand what it's like to face serious illness while carrying the weight of royal responsibility. Charles trusts Catherine's instincts in ways that he doesn't trust many other people. But let's talk about what makes Catherine's approach so different and so effective. The old model of royal service was about showing up, cutting ribbons, making small talk, and moving on to the next event. Catherine has completely flipped this script. She stays longer at events, she asks deeper questions, she follows up on the people she meets, she turns every royal engagement into a meaningful connection. Take her recent visit to a children's hospital. Instead of the usual 30-minute walkthrough with carefully orchestrated photo opportunities, Catherine spent 3 hours there. She sat with families, listened to their stories, played with sick children, and even stayed to comfort a mother who was struggling with her child's diagnosis. The hospital staff said they'd never seen anything like it from a royal visit. This approach requires a complete rethinking of how royal schedules work. Catherine's team has had to become more flexible, more responsive to the needs of the moment rather than the demands of the diary. It's a risky approach that could easily backfire, but Catherine's instincts have proven remarkably sound. This approach is having a massive impact on public opinion. Catherine's approval ratings are through the roof, but more importantly, she's changing how people think about the royal family. Young people who used to see the royals as outdated and irrelevant are starting to pay attention. Parents see her as someone who understands their struggles. Healthcare workers see her as someone who genuinely cares about their mission. The numbers don't lie. When Catherine appears at an event, media coverage is extensive and positive. When she supports a charity, donations increase dramatically. When she speaks about an issue, people listen and take action. She's become the royal family's most effective ambassador, and she's using that power responsibly. Social media metrics tell the story even more clearly. Catherine's posts generate more engagement than those of any other royal family member. Her speeches are shared widely, often going viral in ways that surprise even her communications team. She has become almost accidentally the royal family's most effective influencer. Here's what's really smart about Catherine's strategy. She's not trying to be revolutionary or controversial. She's taking the traditional royal role and making it more meaningful, more personal, more effective. She's showing that you can respect tradition while still making it relevant to modern life, and the timing couldn't be better. The royal family is facing more scrutiny than ever before. People are questioning whether the monarchy is worth the cost, whether it's still relevant in the 21st century, whether it can adapt to changing times. Catherine's approach is providing answers to all these questions. She's proving that royals can be relatable without losing their dignity. She's showing that royal service can create real change, not just generate nice headlines. She's demonstrating that the monarchy can evolve and stay relevant while still maintaining its core values and traditions. The international impact of Catherine's transformation has been remarkable. Foreign leaders who meet her come away impressed by her intelligence, her warmth, and her genuine interest in important
important issues. She's become one of Britain's most effective diplomatic assets, representing the country with grace and authenticity on the world stage. Her influence extends beyond formal diplomatic channels. Catherine has become a global ambassador for causes she champions, from mental health awareness to early childhood development. International organizations seek her patronage, knowing that her involvement brings both credibility and genuine commitment to their work. But perhaps most importantly, Catherine is preparing the next generation of royals. Her children are watching her example, learning that royal service isn't about privilege, but about responsibility. They're seeing their mother use her platform to help others, to speak up for important causes, to make a real difference in people's lives. Prince George, who will one day be king, is learning from his mother that leadership means service. Princess Charlotte is seeing that being royal means using your voice to help others. Prince Louis is growing up understanding that with great privilege comes great responsibility. The way Catherine parents in the public eye has become a masterclass in raising children who understand both their privilege and their duty. She's managed to give them as normal a childhood as possible, while still preparing them for the extraordinary lives they'll lead. The ripple effects of Catherine's transformation are already being felt throughout the royal family. Other family members are raising their game, inspired by her example. The entire institution is becoming more focused, more purposeful, more effective. Even the palace staff have noticed the change. There's a new energy, a sense of purpose that wasn't there before. Catherine's approach has elevated everyone around her, creating a culture of excellence and genuine service that permeates the entire operation. It's the most exciting part. We're just seeing the beginning of Catherine's influence. She's still in her 40s, which means she has decades ahead of her to continue building on this foundation. The changes she's making now could shape the monarchy for generations to come. The woman who was once just known as the girl who married Prince William has become the driving force behind the royal family's modernization. She's proved that you can honor tradition while embracing change, that you can be approachable while maintaining dignity, that you can use privilege as a platform for service rather than just enjoying its benefits. Princess Anne's influence on Catherine has been profound, but Catherine has taken those lessons and made them her own. She's created a new model of royal service that combines Anne's work ethic with her own emotional intelligence and modern sensibility. The result is something powerful and inspiring. As we watch Catherine continue to evolve in her role, one thing is clear: she's not just filling a position in the royal family, she's redefining what it means to be royal in the modern world. She's showing that authentic leadership, genuine service, and real compassion can coexist with tradition, protocol, and ceremony. The girl who once seemed overwhelmed by royal attention has become the woman who's saving the monarchy's reputation and securing its future. Catherine's journey from uncertainty to confidence, from follower to leader, from princess to powerhouse, proves that sometimes the most extraordinary transformations happen quietly, one meaningful moment at a time. Catherine's story continues to unfold, and every chapter seems more impressive than the last. She's not just the Princess of Wales anymore. She's the future of the British royal family, and that future looks brighter than ever. Her transformation from a reluctant royal to a confident leader represents not just personal growth, but the evolution of an entire institution adapting to meet the needs of a changing world.